Now is the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, MAPOLY chapter, Kola Abiola, to talk about the recent efforts of the Ogun State government in upgrading tertiary education in the state. Many thanks for joining us on the News Hour. Of course, like you know, MAPOLY, where you represent, has now been upgraded to University of Science and Technology, Abiola University of Science and Technology. But then making the news a few months ago was, perhaps some form of misunderstanding between staff of the institution and the committee in charge of, upgrading the Polytechnic to the university. There were some issues about staff who were at risk of being sacked. Has that all been laid to rest with the progress the government is making?
No, let me just say that the entire staff of Abiola Polytechnic, as it is now, are endangered species. On the 3rd of July, the governor of Ogun State, Senator Bikule Amoso, signed into law a bill upgrading Abiola Polytechnic into a Abiola University of Science and Technology, and another bill for the creation of Ogun State Polytechnic. That's the two bills that has been signed. But the contention that we have asked is that before you begin to decide our fate, you have to hear our own side of the story. Since July 3rd, even before July 3rd, we made representation at the public hearing for the establishment of these two schools, and we contributed our own quota because we know we are stakeholders. So having done this, we believe that we are supposed to be partners in progress. We are not an alternative management. But to our dismay, a technical committee was set up. We were not included. And they sat, they never consulted us. All the information they passed to us is that we had, as of 3rd of July, all of us has no job, and that we are sacked, that if we want to work in the Abiola University of Science and Technology, we have to come and reapply. If we don't want to work in Abiola Polytechnic, Ogun State Polytechnic that you have created, I'm aware that if you look at NUC website, you will see a Abiola University of Science and Technology, that NUC are acknowledged, that they have acknowledged that is a university that won't come into existence. What is the status of Ogun State Polytechnic with National Board for Technical Education? This is a question that we have constantly asked the Ogun State government, the technical committee. If I'm in computer science, have you gotten accreditation for computer science in Ogun State Polytechnic?
That's for the new university, for the new Polytechnic in Ikokia.
Have you gotten accreditation for computer science in Ogun State Polytechnic Ikokia? If I say I don't want to be in the university and you don't have accreditation for Ogun State Polytechnic Ikokia, what happens to my fate? These are questions that we have asked. And the governor of Ogun State said they are in agreement with MBTE. To our own understanding, we don't know when MBTE now goes into an agreement. Because by MBTE standard, they come, they inspect your facility, they inspect the certificate of the manpower that you want to use to the clerical officers. Our certificate is what you are going to use to get accreditation in the Ogun State Polytechnic. Right. You have not carried those along. So where do you get accreditation for the courses that you want to run in Ogun State Polytechnic?
All right. Now, beyond these questions that you have asked the authorities, and I want to believe you haven't got answers to these questions that you have asked.
None.
Beyond that, what other steps have you taken to ensure, because as you said, about 250 members of staff have become like endangered species.
Not 250, about 750.
750.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other steps that you have taken to ensure that this is resolved?
Right now, Abiola Polytechnic does not have a council. So, we have written 3 letters to the Commissioner of Education. And we have written also to the governor through the Commissioner of Education. We wrote a letter on the 14th of July. We wrote a letter on the 19th of July. We wrote another one on the 3rd of August. The letter that was written on the 3rd of August, we published it in the national paper so that they will see. And on the 6th of September, we have also written to the governor of Ogun State. None of this letter has been acknowledged. The one we got was on the 8th of August when the commissioner said, your letters has been received. And that's the only thing that we have gotten from them. And they have gone on air to continue to say that it's because we are not qualified to want to work in the university. That's why. And I dare say to this, it is not because everybody wants to work in the university. I'm sure you know that the agitation of the university going on now, all you need to come into the university is a master's. And before you cross another step, you get your PhD. In the Polytechnic, the highest that is required of you is a master's. But among even the non-academics and the academic staff, the non-academic staff even have PhD in Abiola Polytechnic. And about 51 academic staff are PhD holders. So do you say these people are not qualified to stay in the university? But we are not talking about staying in the university now. The university has been recognized. Please mind my word, recognized. No courses has been accredited for the university. The Polytechnic has not been recognized by MBTE. The Polytechnic has no accredited courses. So do you want, as a government, you want to bring in students to schools that are not being recognized?
I know the governor has said something about meeting a deadline by the MBTE by October, November.
MBTE does not supervise building for you. When you are ready, you call MBTE, they come.
So you're talking about the courses now?
Yes, MBTE will come. Apart from your infrastructure, MBTE, you are a worker in a TVC. Before, like MBTE standard, they will want to check your qualification. Whose qualification, whose papers are they checking in Ekpokia? The people that you are not carrying along? It is our qualification, it's our paper. And as staff of that school that they will use in accrediting that. So it is not only for academic staff, for non-academic staff too. Their papers are going to be checked because they check the papers of clerk, technicians, all these laboratory attendants. They check your clinic, they check your library, they check everything that is available. You must have qualified personnel. The people that you are not carrying along, how do you use their certificate to go and get accreditation?
You're also concerned about, you said no courses have been accredited at the new University of Science and Technology. What happened to the existing courses in MAPOLY as it once was before?
This is a letter from National Board for Technical Education. It is dated 3rd of July. Accreditation has been granted to another 23 courses to be offered for the next 5 years, starting from 2017-2018 academic session. This is a letter that Abiola Polytechnic, Abiola Polytechnic, Abeokuta has. Where is the letter for Ogun State Polytechnic? We don't have to put pressure on MBTE. We didn't go into an understanding with MBTE. They came, they saw, and they approved for us. So it is not about going into any political understanding. This is our future, the future of everybody presently working in Abiola Polytechnic that is at stake now.
All right, why, in your opinion, do you think that they are not, listening to you? Because, as you rightly mentioned, you are qualified to become, lecturers in the university. But why are they keeping mute about it? In your opinion, do you think there is something, underground that, the public do not know about?
Yes, we are suspecting the Ogun State government. We started suspecting the technical committee as led by Professor Kola. And we thought it was the technical committee that was doing their own game. And on the 13th of July, the governor met us when we picket our gate. And the governor instructed that they should carry us along in their decision process. That day they met and they decided that they were not going to entertain us in their deliberation. We thought it was the fault of the technical committee. But as it stands, what has happened, what has transpired between Tuesday and Friday last week in Ikpokia, it shows that it's the governor of Ogun State that is actually directing them not to listen to us. Because we have made entry to the owner of the school, which is Ogun State government, to listen to our own side of it. So you don't shave our head in our absence. We are the people that is going to go to Ikpokia. It is on television that we know that you say you want to build classes that will accommodate 4,000 students. This is Abiola Polytechnic as it is now, has over 20,000 students. And right. This, please let me
I'm sorry, because okay. I want you to address that part now, together with what I also want to add. Okay. Because you mentioned Abiola University of Science and Technology, and then you also mentioned Ogun State Polytechnic. Are you saying that lecturers or staff from Abiola University now will be merged somehow into the poly?
That is what they are selling to the public, that we want to work in the university by all means. Okay. No, that is not it. The governor should obey the law that is signed. There are some things that are stated in the bill that is signed, upgrading Abiola Polytechnic into Abiola University of Science and Technology. And there are some things that are stated in the creation of Ogun State Polytechnic. Ogun State Polytechnic is a new polytechnic. Abiola Polytechnic has been upgraded to a university. I might want to work in a polytechnic if I choose not to want to stay in the university. What happened to my course in the polytechnic? If I choose to want to work in the university, is my course accredited in the university? Like my mechanical engineering department, for example, there are some equipment that we have there. The VC of Unilag was in the school recently, and he said even their school don't have this what we have. If mechanical engineering is not accredited for Abiola University of Science and Technology, what happens to all this equipment? Those lecturers that are qualified there, even if they want to work in the university, what happens to them? what is their fate if their program is not accredited in Ikpokia?
Wow, quite a number of questions left, unanswered really, but we are hoping that in the fullness of time, all the parties will agree and then, find a solution to all the challenges there. Of course, Chairman, Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, MAPOLY Chapter, Kola Abiola, we thank you very much indeed for coming to share your
Thank you. Please, let me quickly round up. The 2017-2018 academic session has started. And according to JAM timetable, the first batch of admission is supposed to end October 15. Right now, the admission process in Moshood Abiola Polytechnic has been put on hold. This is where money that is used in paying staff are generated. If those students don't get admission into Moshood Abiola University Polytechnic, those students will be disenfranchised from getting admission because all other schools will pick the students that chose them as their first choice and will put more burden on their parents.
Right.
All right.
All right.
That point is very well taken.
Right.
Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right.